All right. We should be.
It says we're live.
Yeah. There won't be that many viewers because it's like 3 a.m.
That's all right.
in the U.S.
It'll be able to watch later though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I always have like 10 viewers, and then the next day it's 200 or 100.
hey, my last one I did was 20. So number is just a number.
Yeah. Cool. Looks live. So yeah, I was about to try to contact the mayor and see if I could get permission. I got a little car that I can rent. It's like one of those weird looking buses.
Yeah.
And I just need to go filming.
I think they should. I've heard from some people that diving is going to be allowed very, very soon because Cebu has now allowed diving and swimming.
Oh, really?
And they got way more cases. I mean, we haven't had a case here on our island in like a month or two, maybe more, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a scientist about that. But I know that Cebu is open. So if Cebu is opening to diving with the cases they're having, I don't see why our mayor or our governor won't follow very soon after.
Yeah, I hope so. I saw it coming. So right before lockdown, I went and filmed a lot. So if I look at my little schedule here, I got like 3 videos a week for the next 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Scheduled for YouTube, but
Yeah.
I need to. I got so many more ideas and stuff. I need to get back to filming really soon.
Yeah. I haven't seen a frogfish in months. That's probably the longest I've gone without seeing one since I saw one the first time, I think. I mean, it's not a big problem in my life, you know, compared to everything else, but I'm getting withdrawal symptoms.
It might be. Well,
I'm healthy, I'm safe, but so it's the least of my worries in the big scheme of things, but I'm ready to see one.
So are you guys diving at the pier?
I'm not. I just heard from someone who heard from someone that there's tons of frogfish there.
Oh.
Just hearsay. So, but there should be. There's no divers in the water, so it's peak frogfish season. I'm pretty sure they're everywhere right now.
My friend lives right in front of the pier and swims there every day. So, but he doesn't know what he's looking at. I need to get permission so I can go dive in there.
Yeah, bring me. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, I need to figure out some excuse to give the mayor promoting dive tourism, I guess. Like
that's a pretty good reason. That's
yeah,
pretty good reason.
Definitely need to go. Otherwise, I don't care where. I need to go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going outside my house just snorkeling, but only sea turtles. No frogfish yet.
Eureka, she went snorkeling in front of Atmosphere, and they saw swimming ribbon eels.
Oh, I've seen that once in my life. It's awesome.
I've barely seen any, let alone swimming.
Yeah, I was in Indonesia in Alor. I look over and there's a blue ribbon eel, like mid-water, swimming straight at my friend's face, who's filming like some damselfish or something. So I start screaming at him. He turns around, and the eel is just like right past his face, just all wavy and blue, and I freaked out because I didn't think they ever swam on like in front of people. You know, you see pictures, videos, but it's not something you see.
I always figured people were messing with them or something.
Yeah, but no, I saw it. It happened. It's a real thing.
Yeah, my list is so long. I have it here. My critter list. So much stuff I want to see.
I mean, we got ribbon eels in front of my house, so
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I finally saw my first blue one the other day.
I love the blue ones.
Yeah, I've only seen one. They're awesome. So I need to see a yellow one.
I saw a white one before at the Atmosphere House Reef.
What?
Different species. It's a different species. I had to look it up, but it's all white, like a ghost.
Yeah, we talked about it before. I remember we talked about it before. I thought they were only in Indonesia.
No, this one, I've never seen a picture of it. I've never seen a video of it outside the ID book. I didn't have my camera because I was guiding. Or
Oh
I
my
don't know, it didn't
god.
let me get too close. Doesn't matter. But it was all white. It's crazy.
I didn't even know you could see those. Yeah, so that's I need to see a white one and a yellow one. I haven't seen
Yeah,
any of
yellow
those.
one. I think I've seen like one yellow one. Mostly they're black.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of black ones this year here.
And I always get confused which one's juvenile, which one's adult, which one's female. I never
Uh,
remember.
I just did a video
Whoa.
about it. That's the only reason I know. But the black ones are the juvenile males.
Okay, then that would make more sense, right? That we see most of those
Yeah,
all
and
waiting
then
their turn.
they turn female and blue,
Yeah.
or maybe also yellow. I don't know. I don't remember what the yellow ones are.
Anyone watching, just look it up. It's online. Figure out
Yeah,
which one is which.
yeah, those are definitely high on my list. But I need to see more Harrys. I've only seen that one last year when I was with you.
That was the only one you've seen.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and I've
Then let's hope we can go diving soon, because I know where they are right now. We just can't get to them.
I need, even if the dive resort's open, nobody's coming here. You know, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they're allowed to open, they're not gonna. There's no flights or anything coming,
Right. So
so I gotta
we
get
got a
a.
private dive sites for all the locals here.
Yeah. Okay, just let me know. I'm trying to get hold of the mirror, and I'm gonna get this car, and we're just gonna go.
Yeah. Stop at Dive Works, get some tanks filled. I got 2
Yeah.
tanks, just need to get them filled. They're sitting in
I don't
my
have
room
any.
waiting to be used.
I don't have any
Well,
tanks,
2
but
of
I'll
us,
rent.
2 of us, 2 tanks. That's good math right there.
All right. Oh
Easy.
man, there's. I think Thalata I think they're sneaking out in front of their dive site. They got a good dive site.
Oh yeah,
With
we know
with
they got a
the,
good dive site.
that was one of my
No,
last
no,
ones.
yeah, me too actually. Because when I teach my frogfish course, we almost always go to that dive site because they've got frogfish year round there, and then in season they've got like up to 8 species there, I think, on that dive site. I think
Oh
my
wow.
record in one dive there is like 6 or 7, but we've seen like 20, 25 frogfish there before without breaking a sweat. It's
God.
it's a solid dive site, yeah.
I didn't see any there. Maybe a couple tiny ones, but I saw.
At Talata,
Yeah, I saw the harlequin shrimp.
yeah. So last time I went, there was an orange polka dot frogfish underneath that harlequin shrimp on the same sponge. Like
Yeah,
I was looking at the harlequin shrimp and I see the polka dots behind it. And there was like 3 or 4 others on that structure. And then they love the Jeep, they love the tires, they love everywhere.
yeah, I was distracted because I was specifically looking for my first harlequin, and
Yeah,
then I was
and you
actually
found it.
pushing. Yeah, I was actually ignoring seahorses. There were so many seahorses everywhere. So I
Yeah,
filmed them for a minute, and then they're banging at me like, "Over here, there's a shrimp." So that's the first
I
time I
love the
ignored those.
seahorses there because they give me more time with the frogfish while everyone else photographs the seahorse.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
like you guys take the seahorse. I'll go over here for a bit. Join me later.
I've been seeing frogfish on my last 3 weeks, but they're so tiny. I couldn't film them at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
But
tiny,
those tiny
tiny.
ones have grown now, so you'll be
Yeah,
able to photograph and video them now.
they grow. Wow, they grow fast.
I mean, they won't be huge, but they'll be big enough to film compared to what they were a couple months ago.
They're just sitting there eating the skeleton shrimp.
Yep, just slurping them up.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty easy life.
yeah. I wish I lived down there by Thalata. I would just sneak in every night.
Oh yeah, I would too, but I don't. I live next to Mazaplad Sur dive site, Mazaplad South. So there's frogfish there, but they're not at the places I can reach for free diving where they used to be. But I keep looking every couple of days, hoping they'll come back to the one spot where they've been for like 6 years. Same bommy, but sadly not right now.
What camera do you use? I can't remember.
Snorkeling, just my GoPro. but I've got the Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II. It's a mouthful, but it's a mirrorless camera.
I'm pretty sure that's a good one. I haven't used
It's pretty
one.
good. A lot of people start with the Olympus Compact, and then if they want to go a bit bigger, they go to the EPL, the Pen series, which I went to, and then upgrade from the Pen series is the OMD, but it's still mirrorless, so it's just a better mirrorless camera.
Yeah, you know Jonathan Bird? Jonathan Bird's Blue World or whatever?
Yeah.
He uses the Olympus GH5, I think.
The TG5?
No. The 4K, the GH5 or
yeah.
The next one up, probably from yours, I guess.
Yeah.
He actually responded to one of my comments because normally he uses those big red cameras, cinema cameras, but on some of his videos he just went out by himself with his own camera, and I asked him, and that's what he uses. It's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah. I'd love to upgrade, but I've already put so much money into this camera. There's no reason to upgrade for another couple years.
Yeah, if you're not doing it for a living, there's not much. You got a pretty good one.
Yeah. And with my freelance status now, I don't use my camera every day like I used to, so I don't have that justification with the everyday paycheck paying for my camera parts.
Yeah. So well, never mind. I was gonna say how's that going, but that was pretty bad.
Well, if you pretend like you're asking me this before the pandemic, it's actually going pretty well.
Oh, really?
If people don't know, I used to work at Atmosphere here in Darwin for about 5 years. Wrote my own Frogfish course for Patty and decided to go freelance so I can teach that course at all the resorts here in Darwin. And then eventually abroad, I'm supposed to have a course at Air Dive in Allure in October for 2 weeks. I don't know if I'll make that. I haven't canceled my flights yet. But last year I had over 50 certs. My goal for this year was over 100. But obviously I've been stuck right now with 0 certs for the last 3 months. And I don't have as many friends who haven't been certified yet to get to 100. Maybe get a couple. Yeah. You're already certified. Can't certify you again. And I was supposed to go to Malapascua next month to do some courses, and so I'm expanding my partnerships. I've got partnerships with some resorts in Anilao, in Lembe, Ambon that I'm gonna start pursuing, and hopefully in a year or two I'll have like every couple months a trip somewhere offering the course in some other country, and then year round offering here in Darwin, and then also a couple times a year up to Malapascua because they got killer frogfish there. No one goes there for frogfish, but they've got amazing frogfish there.
Yeah, when I go there, I do the thresher sharks, which they're famous for, maybe one day, and then I'm off.
I do threshers the first morning, and then if I love it, I basically, so I went up a couple months ago, went to Evolution and also to Malapascua Thresher Divers with my buddy Justin, and I did the thresher dive the first morning with my girlfriend, but then the afternoon we got there, we did 2 lighthouse dives back to back. We found the marblemouth frogfish on the first dive, and since it came out at night, we came back and photographed it on the second dive at nighttime on top of the coral. Beautiful background. Nobody moved it. Nobody messed with it. And then that's the only dives I did. We just hung out with my friends and ticked off the frogfish off the list, ticked off like four thresher sharks, I think. And this was after the pandemic started, so there were like no tourists around. We had the dive site to ourselves, all our dives, which is pretty epic.
Yeah, I love Gato Island and then all the other ones around Malapascua.
Yeah. So Malapascua has marblemouth frogfish, and they're found in Raja Ampat occasionally. Couple other places like once or twice a year, but in Malapascua, you can find them at the majority of the dive sites almost every day. Small ones, big ones with eggs. They're all over the islands.
With eggs, do they put them in their mouth or what?
So they take the eggs and they put them right here on the side of their body. And then they fold the dorsal fin over and the tail around, and they basically make like a baseball mitt and hold the eggs on the side of their body. And then around full moon, they start shaking and shaking and shaking, and the babies start hatching and flying off. Most frogfish release their eggs into the water column and let them float away, and they don't hatch till much later and land much later. So that's why these species like painted frogfish you find everywhere. But marblemouth, the babies are born there in Malapascua. They have no way to leave Malapascua. So I think their population is just growing and growing, because when I lived there 6-7 years ago, I saw one, and now they're all over the place, everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think I probably haven't seen one. I haven't seen many in Malapascua if they're only there.
If you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. It's a very cryptic looking species. It likes to hide underneath things. You said you love Gato, right?
Yeah.
So when you leave the tunnel,
I saw frogs there, but they were definitely not.
Yeah. So when you leave the tunnel and you turn left, you have that wall there with all those like purple pink sponges on it. And they like to live against that wall in pockets where they make their body like flush with the wall. So if you're not looking for that exact species, you're not going to find it.
I actually saw, I think in that exact spot, I saw 2 orange ones.
How many?
I don't know.
How recently was that? Was that like 3 years ago?
Probably 2, maybe 3.
Because 2 or 3 years ago, I saw 2 orange frogfish at that spot.
Yeah, I'll show you my video later if I could find it. But basically, there's a bigger one, and then there's a smaller one like chasing him. And when I went over there with the camera, the smaller one was just like, his little fins, his little hand, just like slapping the other one to make sure he stayed there.
Yeah.
I think
it could be the same too. I've seen the same one before in Malapascua, like months apart on different trips in the same spot. So it could be the same too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love those. Oh, so you mentioned Ambon though. That's the only place I haven't been, and that's
you gotta go there. You gotta go.
Yeah, I think that's number 1 on my list for muck diving or frog anything.
I've been to Ambon twice. But the second time, I was only in the airport and a hostel overnight. I was on transit to Allure. And so when I took off from Ambon that morning, I could see the dive site where the psychedelic lives. So I looked out the airplane window, and I could actually see like the exact spot where I saw psychedelic a couple years ago. Shed a tear and then moved on.
Yeah, your photos, though, are insane. That's definitely the number. That's definitely the number 1. I mean, Harry also, but now that I've seen one, I have to see a psychedelic.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're there, but my tip for anyone going to Ambon, mainly if you're based in Asia, is if you have the time, go when you see people start posting photos of psychedelic, because they're not there until they find them, and then sometimes they're only there for a couple weeks. So it really helps if you go when they're already being found. A lot of people will schedule trips way in advance, and then they're not there. When I went, one of my buddies was posting photos. He's like, I saw 3 already in one day. So I got time off, and I was there within 7 days. Saw 2 on my first day diving, and we couldn't find them again the rest of the week. They were gone.
I was thinking about doing like a documentary or a series of videos going through Indonesia, Lembeh, Allure, wherever, and ending it in Ambon to find the psychedelic. That would be awesome. So
I think we talked about this, Oh, there's yours.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Hiding behind the laptop.
That's my favorite. That's Kevin's favorite spot. No matter where we are, he'll lay down against the laptop.
Yeah, this guy, I'll wake up and he's on my keyboard. His name's Doug Judy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And he's very weird. He's got a full tail. He's got a whole tail.
Yeah. But
in this area, a lot of cats don't have a full tail.
Yeah. I rescued mine from somebody that rescues them. And he's still crazy. He's not like real snuggly sometimes. He always wants to play.
So my older cat, Foster, he was born in my friend's closet. A pregnant cat adopted them and then gave birth in their closet later. And then Doug Judy, actually, there were kittens at Liquid stuck behind a wall. And so apparently they cut a hole in the wall and rescued these kittens that had just been living in this crevice stuck there. And so Berlinda, the course director, was like, anyone want a kitten? And I already told her, we're ready for a kitten when you got one. And so we went and got him couple weeks later. So he's a
Somebody
rescue
said
from.
somebody's watching from Ireland.
Oh, very cool.
So I was actually supposed to go diving there. They flew me all the way there, and the weather was so bad I didn't do anything.
Do they have basking sharks there, or is that only off the coast of Britain?
That's famous in Scotland. I don't know if they.
Yeah.
It's the same little.
I'm sure one swims past. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're really famous in Ireland, like Northern Ireland or north of Ireland, not Northern Ireland.
Yes.
For
good distinction.
For wreck diving. They claimed when I was going there that it's the best wreck diving in the world, and definitely the most wrecks in Europe. That's a big claim. I mean, we're from Philippines,
Yeah.
That's a huge claim. But they said all the World War I and II wrecks are right there on the north. So
that would make sense, right?
Yeah. There's some shops there that discover them all the time, like hundreds or thousands. I don't know.
Wow.
But I missed it. It's always bad weather.
I don't think it's water warm enough for me to dive those wrecks, so I might have to pass on that one.
Yeah.
I've been swimming in Ireland, and it didn't last long. Maybe about 15 seconds, and I was right back out of the water, screaming I was too cold.
Yeah, I can't handle the cold. So, but anyways, back to Ambon. That's not cold.
Yeah. No, it's not one bit.
So, as a expert in frogfish, I was going to ask you about those. I think we talked about it, but why are they? I mean, is it the same reason that marblemouth are only in Malapasco area?
Yeah.
Why are they only in Ambon?
They also brood their own eggs, right? So they catch the eggs, release them, and Ambon's in a bay, right? Down in a bay. So there's no real way for them to leave that bay once they're born. There's not really any currents bringing them out. They're just stuck in the bottom of this bay. And Dive into Ambon has been finding frogfish on the other side of the bay where nobody dives but them. So it seems like either they're expanding or people are searching more spaces now. In the ID books, it says that one of them is from Bali. But a lot of people agree that the psychedelic found in Bali was from a fish seller for like aquariums, and it was transported there from Ambon. So it's not. We don't think there's any truth that there was a living wild psychedelic in Bali. But one thing I want to mention, you got this photo up right now. If you look at the top right of the photo, you can see the nostrils and mouth of a little moray eel. Just even with my little logo to the left.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
I talked to my dive guides there. Believe it or not, dive guides, they know so much, and a lot of them don't know as much as they do know. Like, they know so much. And these dive guides told me that almost every time they find a psychedelic, there's a moray eel living in symbiosis with it. And they don't attack each other, they don't mess with each other. So I'm not sure, but my best guess is that the psychedelic can block the hole, and then prey gets stuck in the hole because they live in like crevices, and then one of them gets to eat it. And then as soon as they trap enough and the moray eel's full, the psychedelic can then eat it. And now that's just a guess. I have no idea, but I assume that's how it would happen. Somehow they work together.
So they're friends because one is too fat and blocks all the holes.
I believe so. And then one is too lazy to go out and hunt. So
yeah,
I think that's why it makes the most sense to me. But honestly, there's no scientific research on this symbiosis. But it's the dive guides. They dive every day. They see more than we do. I'm sure it's true.
Is somebody researching this stuff?
There's a professor in Washington, Dr. Pish, and he just published a book called Frogfish's. I forget the rest of the title, but I have a book from him that's older than me, and it's the second edition or a new edition of that book. So it's everything known about frogfish from like 1600 up until last year. So it's 30 extra years of science research added to the original book, which is already a massive book. It's on Amazon. I ordered it, but because of the pandemic, it hasn't arrived yet. So he's studying them. I believe he's got some graduate students that are studying them. And then Martin de Brouwer has done some studies, including frogfish, in his other research. He actually was just one of a crew of people that discovered the newest pygmy seahorse in Africa. I don't know if you saw those links yesterday on Facebook or Instagram.
I don't think so.
But yeah, new pygmy seahorse discovered in Africa.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah.
What?
So there's not many people studying them. I don't study them officially for a degree or anything, but I've used my research to fix wrong IDs in the ID books, and also to supply Dr. Piche with info and photos of a species he redescribed a couple years ago. And thanks to him, he got me the cover of a scientific journal with his paper, which was pretty cool.
You're in. They put your name in one of the books, right?
If that's the newest one, then I'm in there. Yeah, I've got 2 frogfish photos now. I've got the ocellated and the spot fin as my own.
This isn't the newest. Is this the old one?
It depends. What edition is it, or is it revised?
I don't know.
Well, basically, if you go to the frogfish page around 362, if the orange polka dot frogfish is still there, it's the old one, and if the orange polka dot frogfish is not there, it's the new one, and you'll see my ocellated frogfish photo on there.
No, it's not 360. That's nudies.
Okay, then it must be the new one, because it used to be 362. Oh
Yeah,
no!
it must be
If
a
it's
different
nudies,
book.
if it's nudies, then you've got the critters book, not the reef fish book.
Yeah, I got reef creatures.
Okay, I'm in the reef fish book, so not the reef creature book. One day,
But
one
it
day I'll
seems
be in
like
that.
there's so many species that it'd be hard to study all of them. Like, is that
So-
guy in Ambon studying? I mean, or is there anybody in Ambon studying why they're so rare, why they got moray friends, all that stuff?
To my knowledge, no. And if I'm wrong, and someone message me and tell me I'm wrong, I'd love to know if I'm wrong on this one. But to my knowledge,
Oh, sure.
nobody is out there specifically to study these frogfish. Now, the graduate students working with the professor, with Dr. Piche, might have something in the works. I have no idea, honestly. But a lot of these animals, like frogfish, you can't put them in a tank and get the same statistics and same studies. Like, I had a professor in college that studied clownfish, and she would breed them and do awesome studies in her lab, and it worked fine. But frogfish, they're not easy to take care of in a tank, and I don't know how you would even like duplicate a scenario where you could put a moray eel with it.
They got to be like you, and they got to be on location, huh?
That's the thing. All the new frogfish information coming out is in big part to divers who photograph stuff, not just frogfish, but all marine life. Divers will photograph things and be like, this is not in the ID book. What is this? And then it eventually makes its way to a scientist who goes, hey, this is a new species. Give me all your photos. Let's publish it. And that's what happened with me. Dr. Piche emailed me and was like, hey, can I get a high res of this photo? And I said, do you want this photo, or do you want photos of all the ones I've seen of this species? He said, give me all of them. So I sent him like 40 photos. And now I've got photos in his book as well. In that Frogfish's book that just came out, I've got some photos in there too. So it's been a good couple years for frogfish, gotta say.
Yeah, that's cool that you brought that up, because somebody the other day was we were debating like how we wanted to make a difference in the world or whatever, and I told him that I've been running my Instagram and my website forever, and I get all these messages. Yeah. And the other day I got another this is not the first one, but I got a message that said I don't remember what kind of fish it was, but they said they never knew that this existed, and they're absolutely hooked because they're looking at all the different species that are like, what the hell?
Yep.
And he actually said that he was trying to figure out what his degree was going to be, and now he decided because of the photo or videos that he was going to study marine biology. And I was like, that's a pretty good I'm not going to make a big contribution to the world, so if I can bring awareness to any one species that's like endangered or threatened or whatever, then that's kind of That's kind of cool to think about.
So I'm not near your follower level, but I decided, I think last year, I switched my tone on my Instagram. Instead of trying to just put out flashy stuff, get a bunch of followers, I just want to educate. So I'm not boosting posts with money. I'm not doing all that crazy stuff. I'm just putting out frogfish photos, information, and people are learning. And so I just want people to learn. I'm not into photography to get likes, and I talk about that at dive shows, social media and photography and all the effects on it. So I just love like educating people and piquing their interest in things they didn't know existed. And on top of that, my biggest highlight.
Expert. Go ahead.
Sorry, my biggest highlight probably of my frogfish social media is that my mom decided that she wanted to try diving because of my photos constantly bombarding her. She's like, I didn't know this stuff existed. I want to see it. I think I'm going to try diving now. And it got to the point where she went diving without me at a wedding in Hawaii on her own with the dive guide, which she said she'd never do. And she comes to Philippines once, twice a year. We dive Apple Island, we dive the coast, and she's hooked. And all because of my photos. So I'm sure she's not the only one, but it's really nice when you get that reaction. Someone's just like, I didn't know this was real. I want to learn more about it. That to me is a really cool compliment.
My original goal was just to get people diving and exploring, just generic diving. But then I'm starting to get it really into species. Like that's really I guess it's hard to say it's my passion when I'm talking to you because you have a fucking real passion for species.
Hey,
but
I have a passion for only one species.
Well, I'm passionate about rare species that I don't know. I can't explain it. Just when you're filming and then you see something like evolution, all the eons of evolution made it so you can't find it, and then you do find it.
Yeah.
And then you know that all your friends have never seen this, and people should know they exist. And there's not a whole lot. I mean, there is in our community. There's a lot of videos of this stuff, but and my friends they have no idea, you know. So
I didn't get into diving. I didn't get into diving until after I graduated from high school. So all my high school friends, they don't dive except for one. My college friends, a lot of them dive because they're marine biologists, but like you don't realize that we take so much of this stuff for granted. Like you go out and you see a Nemo and you're like, whatever. Like I've seen like thousands and millions of Nemos, whatever. But you know, on social media, all you got to do is put up a Nemo and you're going to get so many likes and followers. And like I have Nemos in front of my house, and then you realize that you have friends back home who've never even seen a clownfish. Like, so
if I put turtles every day, I would have 100,000 fans by now.
But that's not your goal, right? You want to give good content, not just turtles.
I see them, but I don't even. I'm not going to waste the battery or the. To me, I don't know, like flamboyant cuttlefish, anything super weird and cool. It's just gets me makes me happy.
It's like a lot of people don't know that.
I'm trying to figure out how you made this.
That was with my snoot.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So that's with my snoot.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so a snoot is just a light shaping device like a spotlight. And in this picture, the hairy frogfish is fishing with its lure out in front. And my snoot light only covered the frogfish, not in front of it. So there's no light on the mustache, which is the lure, which is why it's black.
That's so good.
And that was kind of my goal for that photo, is to give him a mustache. So I'm very, very happy with how that turned out.
Yeah, I need to. There's so much. Yeah, I'm also passionate about videography, and I need to. There's so much to learn. I want to try a snoot on my lights. I really want to get a way better macro lens so I could get stuff like this.
Yeah,
you got a really good lens.
So can you click that orange polka dot frogfish for me? The one,
this one?
Down 2 rows, under the finger, and to the left.
Oh yeah.
So I just want a little announcement. In the old ID books, this is a painted frogfish. That's incorrect. This is actually a clown frogfish or a warty frogfish. They've removed it from the new ID books, but this is, I've talked to the experts, and this is actually a clown frogfish. So it's wrong in most ID books.
Wow.
And
So
the reason it doesn't look like one.
You talk to the experts?
Yeah, the people who published the book you showed me, I stalked them at DEMA, and was like, can I talk to you about one of your frogfish in your book? And then I gave them Dr. Pish's contact information, and he agreed with me with all the photos I sent him. But basically, this frogfish mimics a flatworm when it's a juvenile called Linda's flatworm. It's black, orange polka dots with a blue outline. And if it grows that typical triangle of clown frogfish on its face, it doesn't mimic flatworm anymore. So I believe that this variation of this species, they grow their triangle at different times depending on when they're done mimicking a flatworm. So I've seen ones at 1 centimeter with a triangle and ones at 3 centimeter with no triangle. But when they're adult, they get the triangle, they get the warts on their body, and it's definitely a clown warty frogfish.
Wow. Well, all I know is it looks cool.
It's my first tattoo. It's my favorite frogfish. I absolutely love that frogfish so much.
I took your course, if anybody's listening, but I'm ashamed to say I'm sure I lost like half the information in my head. I can identify a giant one from their stupid little, like this, on their head.
Yeah. And there's a giraffe there. That's not a frogfish, but that's whatever.
What, did you go to Africa?
I went to Uganda last year. We wanted to go see those gorillas.
Cool.
That was the main reason we went, was gorillas, honestly. And it was not as cool as frogfish, but it was definitely second place.
These are a problem for me. I can never find them.
I can never find them either. I've only found a couple on my own. And the last one I found on my own was with one of my good friends. Dustin came to visit me. And I was like, we saw one here a couple weeks ago. Maybe we'll find it. I found it in like 2 minutes. It was insane. And I pretty much haven't seen one since. And I believe that's the one. I believe that's the frogfish, or that's the blue ring from that dive.
Well, you got a freaking good photo. Because the one that I've seen, I couldn't get anything. He took off.
I have photographed like 20, 30, 40, 50 blue rings since I've lived here. So if I don't have a good photo, that's on me, you know. I've had plenty of opportunities. Yeah. And when I go diving, with my job, I bring my camera like on multiple dives a day. I do 400 camera dives a year. So when you do that many dives, you better have good photos, you know? I mean, there's no excuse at that point. If I only photographed like vacation diver, like 2-3 weeks a year, my photos would suffer. Even not photographing for 2 weeks, my photos suffer. So it's, I equate my time here to like 100 years of vacations, right? Something like that of dive time.
How big was this?
That one?
That's tiny, yeah.
No, that one, those tunicates next to it, or sea squirts, maybe they're like 1 centimeter. So that was like 5 centimeters.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do, huh?
You'll get there. You'll get there. I love that photo of my friend's face and the frogfish.
Yeah.
I like getting creative with size references, keeping the space with the frogfish as well. That's my buddy Sam. He's a dive guide in Melbourne, Australia. And he finds blue rings like every single day. Like, not even kidding, every single day. So if you want to see blue rings, go to Melbourne. He'll show them to you, no problem.
Wow. Really?
There's a pier there. I forget the name. But there's sea dragons, there's tasseled anglerfish, there's blue rings, weed fish. I'm going to go visit him soon. He's one of my dive master students from a couple years ago, one of my little proteges. He's a badass photographer these days. He's actually getting past me now, so I'm getting a bit worried. He's pumping out better photos than me these days. So I might have to hand it over to him.
I didn't know blue rings were over there. I was just doing a video about the weedy sea dragons in South Australia.
That's where he is, at one of those piers with the Wheaties.
Oh wow!
But here in Darwin, we have between like 1, 2, or 3 species of blue ring. We have at least one, but we think we have 2 species. One has big spots with yellow. One has very small spots.
Yeah.
And in Australia, they've got like more species. Some of them get pretty big, not like our little ones. They get sizable.
I think there's 5 species. Is that what I read?
Something like, yeah, but they can get pretty big there.
Oh wow. Yeah, they're tiny here and really shy, not like the other ones.
I actually photographed one. I was photographing something, and my dive guide called me over, and I don't know if the photo's on my Instagram feed or not, but it was a baby blue ring in the opening of a wine bottle. Like that's how small it was. It was in the opening of a wine bottle, just hanging out. I don't think it's on there, but it was so incredibly small. It would have been before those photos, for sure.
I don't know if that's a blue ring or not.
That's a Matodi in a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much more. People ask me why I'm here, and I don't know how many hundreds of dives I have here, and I still haven't seen anything.
I mean, it took me 3 or 4 years to see a boxer crab here.
Yeah, I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
There's so many. I need to see more hairy frogfish. I finally saw my first orangutan and Donald Duck shrimp.
Nice. I saw a Donald Duck.
Yeah.
My last dive I went on, I found the Donald Duck. I knew where one lived, which is pretty cool.
Well, I had to specifically ask I wanted to find one, and then we found 2. But those are my first ones, and that was like a month ago or whatever.
I had found a big freckled frogfish, and there was a Donald Duck living in the same sponge, and I was like, "Oh wow, there's a Donald Duck there too. Cool." Had no idea.
Man, the list is long. I need to be out there every day.
Yeah,
there's a Donald Duck for you.
Yeah, there's Donald Duck for you.
Oh yeah. So you have a snoot on this one?
So this was a night dive, not just a snoot. It was a snoot and a night dive. And every time I shined my snoot on it, it would follow the snoot light. So it wouldn't stay still. So I had to put the snoot light in front of it and wait for it to walk into it and then take the photo. He was just, he wanted to cover the light. He's very cool. So that's why he's out in the open. I never move my animals. I do talks at dive shows about not moving animals and how to get good photos without moving them. So I just want to make that clear. I didn't push him out into the sand. He followed the snoot light. He was going after it. Very curious.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my pet peeves. I hate seeing people do that.
Oh yeah.
So, some of the biggest channels and on TV, they do that all day, and it really pisses me off. And nobody.
Oh yeah.
Like Coyote. What's his name? Coyote Peterson.
The guy that stings himself all the time with stuff.
Yeah, he just got certified for diving and started doing underwater creatures a little bit, and he catches them, puts them in a garbage can, and brings them up to shore so he can make a video. Yeah, and I keep leaving all these comments like, "Motherfucker, you just got certified. Rule number 2 with Patty is don't touch shit." And he has millions and millions of views on every video, pretty much encouraging people to go catch rare species of whatever.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to add him to my talk about the effects of social media on photography. He's the perfect example of people doing it for the wrong reasons. He just wants the viral effect, so he's disregarding the safety of his animals to get that viral response.
He's responded to my comments because I'm always like, dude, go catch ants or wasps. I don't care. But his last video, like yesterday, he was catching a snowflake eel and bringing it up to shore in a fish tank. I don't know.
Why would he just go to a person who has in a fish tank already in a tank? Why catch one from?
Or just film it like me.
Yeah.
You know?
Why get scuba certified if you're just going to take him out of the water? You can pay someone to do that for you. What's the point?
It pisses me off. And he's got millions. He's got like 10 million subscribers. And he's just showing all these people, hey, you should go catch these delicate whatever.
Like Ocean Ramsey and the fake biggest shark on Earth.
That was the next one I was going to say. I'm like, you can't show how cool or a species without touching it, without encouraging all these people to harass shit just for the Instagram.
My argument is simply photographing that shark and showing you near it is enough to show people it's not dangerous. You don't have to touch it and ride it and pimp out your Maris fins and your GoPro and get all your sponsored posts out of the way, you know, and then lie about
there's
it.
There's a reason why Maris sent a bikini girl to free dive with the shark. It's not because you're a marine biologist trying to bring awareness.
So that guy, Martin de Brouwer, I mentioned, I believe 2 of his friends actually discovered that whale carcass days before and had been in the water filming the great whites without telling anybody, without touching them, for like documentary style. And they were there for, I think, at least a couple of days. I'm not sure. And then the minute Ocean Ramsey came, the sharks never showed up again to that whale carcass because everybody else came out to get their moment of riding a shark, getting close to a shark. So no sharks came back that day, again to that whale carcass after Ocean Ramsey showed up. Meanwhile, the real biologists who are there are respecting the shark, filming it, and it came back. And when they saw Big Blue or Deep Blue or whatever, that was there when those 2 were filming. But the one that Ocean Ramsey was with was not the biggest ever great white. It was a different one that was smaller. It was still large, but they never retracted their statement saying that it was deep blue when it was proven wrong that it wasn't. They never retracted that because it wouldn't have been as viral.
Yeah, and you just go to her Instagram or whatever it was, and you see all the comments, and they're just worshiping her, like, "Oh, you're the bravest girl, and you're my hero." And I'm like,
when
"Oh
can
my god!"
I go touch a shark? What do they feel like?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so outspoken in my don't touch stuff and be respectful of the environment, because the people who should be doing it aren't. And a lot of underwater photographers that are famous on social media, I'm not going to name any, but a lot of them got big by staging all their photos. And it's well known who many of these people are. Safe to say some of them have changed.
I always tag you.
Some of them have changed their tune and are now speaking out against it. But at the same time, if you got famous breaking the rules and now you're saying, don't do what I did, even though I got famous doing it, that's kind of a double-edged standard. So I decided years ago, before I was Dr. Frogfish, before people knew who I was, to just not be a dick underwater and not touch my animals. And like the psychedelic frogfish, I didn't touch it. I was alone with it. Nobody would have seen me. Nobody anywhere near me. They'd gone to the next one.
And you could have gotten gold.
I almost did, but I didn't. And then it turned on its own to face me, and I got my gold. And I feel like I get ocean karma for my behavior and my message. Like I have watched a frogfish walk on top of a sleeping sea snake and settle in for a nap too. I mean, I got
we were talking about this during my course with you, and then the frogfish, he got up and walked on you.
Yeah, I've had frogfish walk on me. Like I've had things I've seen underwater that people wouldn't believe are real. And I really believe that's just karma. Like they know I'm a good dude, so they want to reward me with good photos. I saw, like, I got to see a leatherback turtle last year, and it popped up on the surface while we were taking a coffee break right next to our 2 boats, like within 50 meters of us. And so we jumped in the water, and because it had just come to the surface, it couldn't dive down again. So it just swam next to us for like a minute until we just couldn't have the energy anymore. That's one in a million chance. We saw other ones, but they dive right when you get to them. But this one, it just stayed. And the video I haven't even posted it yet because I don't care about posting it. I just wanted to see one, you know, and get that memory. So
I've definitely been mentioning that in like half the videos I've been doing, that I never touch, and I hate people that do that. But I'm gonna make a specific video like in the next week or 2 about the PADI rule and never touching, and how I mean, think of the ramifications. That girl chased away the great white sharks that they were making a documentary about, that a lot of people would have actually learned.
Or think about it this way: the sharks never came back, and they need that sustenance to stay alive. What if some of those sharks couldn't get the energy they needed to give birth or to go find a mate, things like that?
Yeah.
Not just the people side, but the shark side as well.
Yeah.
So
insane.
it's really scary, the power that social media is taking on photography, videography, and how the what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of what I'm looking for, but the goals of what people want are changing. It's no longer like teach. Now it's get money, get sponsors, get a bikini clad girl up there, get
Yeah.
sponsors, get followers, get free trips. I
Yeah.
mean, that's and when I talk
Rough.
in my talks, I'm like, my biggest compliment on a post is not if I get 100 likes or 1,000 likes or whatever. I've had people paint my photos, and then I see a painting of my photo in my Instagram feed, and I'm like, whoa, that looks familiar. I bring my photo up, and this person has used my photo as like inspiration for theirs.
Yeah.
And for me, that's number one. Like somebody liked my photo enough to take time to paint it or do watercolor or whatever. Like I've got my girlfriend's an artist, so she likes me for other reasons, but you can see she does art of my photos, which
Oh
is
wow,
very,
that's
very
nice.
cool. Got my peso coin right there. So like I've seen strangers who I've never met, and I find them because I recognize their painting as my photo. Um, or getting asked to have my photo on a cover of a journal. Like those are the best things that can happen for one of my posts, not getting tons
Yeah.
of likes, because likes don't matter. Like in the long run, they do get you trips, they do get you sponsors, but they don't mean anything real, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Well, hey,
I've gotten
I want to
trips,
say
but that
hi
was
to
shocking.
I want to say hi to ATV because she just said hi.
All right.
So
Hey to
hello.
ATV.
Anyways,
So
oh,
like
so it was
I
the
got a trip
same
to
when I was
Allure.
in
Yeah.
the. It was the same when I was in the travel blogging niche, only doing travel blogging, not really scuba.
Yeah.
All these, I was one of the first. There's probably 10 big ones, and then I started, and
I've
then
read your blog about that. Start like going on a trip and saying, I'm not going home. I'm just going to stay here and find a job and make it work.
yeah, I had to like yeah. So there was no blogs back then. There was hardly nobody was doing anything online. There was no Instagram
Yeah.
or anything. Uh, but as it started going, they started making conferences, how to be a travel blogger, all that. It started turning into the bikini stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd get people at the best monuments, like the pyramids of Egypt, the pyramids of Giza, and then it'd just be a selfie, and all you could see
Yeah.
is some girl's head, and then like
Yeah.
a little bit of the pyramid behind her. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? I'm not gonna paint that. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
No, no.
remember that. That's not something that you're gonna get inspired by. It's like, what is
Yeah.
this bullshit? And that's the
Yeah.
whole industry is turned into. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a
And
selfie at the Taj Mahal, the Hagia
yeah.
Sophia. It's and now
Yeah.
I switched to diving because I was super into dive locations,
Yeah.
varieties, and then now the species.
Yeah.
So I don't want that to turn into that.
But that's why I've changed my goals with my Instagram. And I don't try to like post the flashiest photo I can. I'll post average photos. I don't care because the average photos teach better than a good photo.
Yeah,
Like a blurry f2.8 photo of a frogfish is cool, but you have trouble IDing that frogfish. So I'd rather put a profile shot of a cool colored one and be like, this is why you can tell it's this species.
yeah.
I'm not in it for the likes, for that stuff. I'm in it to teach people. That's
Well,
my
what I
goal.
was gonna
So
say earlier is more people like you should definitely have Instagrams and be more public where people can see what they're doing.
yeah, and like
I met a nudibranch biologist from Finland, and I was like, dude, you need Instagram. You need a
yeah,
you need to show people what you're studying or tell them or whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I wish everybody had that.
yeah. When I went to Allure, I've gotten free trips there. I've gotten trips off to other places, not because of the likes on my Instagram, but because the people know me and have seen me speak. It had nothing to do with my followers at all.
Yeah,
Um,
you're an authority in your niche. You know.
and they just want the people in Allure are like, we love Frogfish, we love your talk, come teach us. Another guy
Oh,
was
that's
like, do
awesome.
you remember we dove together years ago? Come to my new resort. I like Frogfish, come teach us. So I'm getting offers, not for my social media, but for me and my knowledge. And to me, that's more important than followers, is sharing the knowledge.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I
But you
started
don't get
feeling that
followers that
way.
way. So
Yeah, you have to play the game some way so that you could reach more people, and
right.
it's rough.
So, but luckily, people tag me a lot. Frogfish fan page tags me a lot. People tag me in any Frogfish photos. Strangers I never met before. So I'm still building my following organically, which is nice. But honestly, it's people know about me from word of mouth and dive shows. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm happy with that for now.
The deal you had with Atmosphere, where you live there, dive there, work there, I guarantee you could
Yeah.
get that in Limbe or anywhere, really. Anywhere with Frogfish.
I loved that job at Atmosphere. But if I work at one place, I can't teach everywhere else. So
Yeah,
as much as I love that resort, I don't want Frogfish to be stuck being taught at only one resort. I want to
yeah,
offer it everywhere. And like I said, within 2 years, I'm going to be having trips to multiple places in Indonesia, multiple places in Philippines, and then I will do a course when I go home to Florida at the Blue Heron Bridge with my friend Ryan over at Shark Tours Florida. We've got 4 species there at Blue Heron Bridge, so I'm going to teach it in 3 different countries within 2 years. And so that's the plan. Just share the love to whoever wants me. I'll share the
you
love.
need
It's
a
that simple.
you need a Frogfish dive tour.
That's the plan. My plan is to lead Frogfish trips. The first one was going to be in October in Allure. That's going to be the first official Dr. Frogfish trip. But with everything going on in the world right now, I hope I can still go. I don't know how many students I'll have then.
Man, I wonder if you could. So you mean like a whole like week long or 10-day or whatever
Mhm.
actual
Mhm.
guided tour,
Yep.
and you could
They
and you
get
could do
me.
your course.
So the course will be included, and the debriefing will be at the last day, using every frogfish we saw on every dive. But it would also be photo tips, other marine biology presentations, not just frogfish, and it'd just be a fun time, you know. Photo tips, frogfish course, frogfish tips, marine biology tips, and diving at
Yeah,
places I've been to that I know have good crews, good staff, and good diving. Most of all.
yeah, I've
So that
been.
is the plan.
Yeah,
And you get a free T-shirt. Don't know if you can see it. Get a free T-shirt, Dr. Frogfish, when you come on the trips. So
yeah,
easy.
that's an awesome idea. I was thinking about doing something like that, but I don't have a. It'd be better with an expert. Have a
Yeah,
theme. A theme.
we can always team up sometime. Once we both
Yeah,
get these trips going, do a Critter Hunter Dr. Frogfish team up. But obviously, I'm going to start with trips here in Darwin. Rent out like liquid or atmosphere. Get
yeah.
5 rooms
That shouldn't be
because
too
it's
hard
low
to
risk
do
for
a
me.
tour.
It's low risk for me because I live here, right? No plane ticket involved.
Yeah,
If I don't get many guests, I can still come and dive. I can still teach them. But if I go somewhere else, like Indonesia, I'm going to need numbers to get my
expenses
spot
paid.
there and everything.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of ideas. We could
Yeah.
definitely set up like a. You met the guys from Blue Water Travel, right?
Yeah, I know them. Yep.
We were actually talking about they wanted to make me an ambassador, like in February or March, whatever, and then all this happened. They were actually coming here, and we're gonna do a bunch
Yeah,
of stuff together.
they're coming to Atmosphere, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They're supposed to.
Yeah, I was supposed to teach them the frogfish course, I think. So
Yeah.
who knows?
So maybe we could work together, and because they do their photography tours, and they come
Yeah,
here.
that's where I met them when they come to Atmosphere, and that's where I got a
Yeah.
snoot because I saw one of their guys using a snoot, and he was like, "It's my first time using a snoot," and I was like, "If that's your first time using a snoot and those are your photos, I can do this." And so I bought one, and he brought it to me next time they came. They would hand deliver their camera gear to me, so I wouldn't have to pay shipping or import taxes. I'd order it, they'd get it from the warehouse, put it in their bag, and then bring it to me at Atmosphere. It's good, really good customer service at Blue Water Travel.
Yeah, I got my lights from them. They sponsored me some lenses a while back, or not Blue Water Travel, but their other company, Underwater Photography.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we could definitely. That'd be a cool idea because we're already in down. There's zero expenses for us.
And it's amazing diving. So
Yeah,
just find a place to do it and find people to come, make it worth their while.
Yeah. Atmosphere is super expensive, but
There's so many
I don't know.
options here, lowest budget to highest budget. We'll find something. Oh, Doug Judy, lay off the computer, bro.
Yeah, mine does that all the time. He has to lay on the computer.
He's
Well,
taking his claws out, turning it, just turning the screen.
he
Come
wants the
on, buddy.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working with Atmosphere for the last, however long, and she said they don't want to promote diving anymore. They want to be known as the luxury whatever of Darwin,
That,
Dumaguete.
that makes sense because Atmosphere's got a lot more than just diving.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they really
and
remodeled.
honestly, with all my photos I've given them and the videos they have, I think they're set for a while.
Yeah, yeah. I propose. Well, what I'm doing now with Liquid,
Yeah.
basically dive every week with them and kind of like a series on YouTube,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Their manager was at my house yesterday. I forgot to ask him. I'm gonna ask if I can come be your dive buddy when you do those dives. Come join you.
We talked about it. He said you can come anytime.
I won't set my flash off while you video. I know better than that.
Won't say your what?
I won't flash the animal while you're videoing him.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the biggest pet peeve is flash bulbs going off during a video.
Oh, there's way worse things though.
Yeah.
Some of those groups are crazy.
But specific to videos, because you don't have that problem with photography, right? It's just one and done.
Yeah, yeah. Half the stuff you're talking about, I'm thinking, man, it's so much harder with video.
Yeah,
like
that's why I still don't do video because it's just too hard for me.
It's too many variables. Something turns around for 1 second so you can snap it. I need like 30 seconds just to make a YouTube video,
Yeah, I just need that one thing, that one chance.
Yeah. So this year I'm trying to make the videos like every video about a specific one species that I find that day. So it's kind of fun.
That is
so
cool.
It might be a 2-minute video or a 10-minute video, whatever. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm not using like science. The what?
It's a good direction. One video, one species.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I got. We're trying to. There's a lot of marine biologists here.
Yeah. Yeah, there are.
I've talked to like 6 now.
Yeah, I wasn't the first one here, and I won't be the last. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, they got the school here. I just talked to a professor at the school, Klaus something.
Klaus. Yeah.
And then some of his students talked to me.
Yeah, Klaus is the goby guy. He knows more than anyone else about goby.
And Blennies.
Yeah, Blenny. Yeah, I forget which one, but he knows his shit. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think I'm interviewing him sometime this month, and then next week is
wow. So for years, I think he's lived here.
Yeah, he's got a wife and a kid here, and he lives he lives next to the pier. So
is he the one that can't hunt frogfish?
No, that was my other friend lives next to him. They're neighbors. That's how we met.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure he could.
Yeah.
I assume he dives.
He does. I think he's a course director. I'm not sure.
That'd be a shame if not.
He 100% dives. I know that for sure. I've met him many times here in Darwin since I've been here.
Yeah. Next week I'm talking to Simon Pierce about whale sharks on the channel.
He's commented on my photos a couple times, which makes me very happy. He's a very, very knowledgeable guy.
He's super nice. I interviewed him last year on my website, and he's just he's super nice guy, Kiwi guy.
Once upon a time, I applied to be an intern at his Marine Megafauna Foundation with manta rays, but I didn't get it. So I guess that's a good thing. Now I'm doing what I do. But that was pre-Frogfish days. I wanted to go work for him.
Well, that's the easy, low-hanging fruit. Everybody wants to do that. Frogs need more people.
Exactly why I didn't get it. It's low-hanging fruit. Everybody wants it. So I said, let me study the fish that nobody wants to study.
I don't know why though. Frogs need more people.
Hey, I'm happy with them not having more people. I'm happy to keep this niche to myself for now. It'll be sad when other people start coming in and writing their own frogfish courses and stealing my thunder. That'll be a sad day.
I don't see that happening unless they're in Lembe or here or something.
That's why I want to go teach in those places, so they don't have to.
Yeah, you need to get Indonesia is way shut down, just as much or more than Philippines.
Yeah,
But
I heard Bali's not open until October.
Yeah,
And I'm supposed to go to Allure last week of October, so I'm still fingers crossed that I can go, but it'll be pushing it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go to Lembe, but guess probably not gonna.
What about the flights from Bohol to Lembe direct, without going through Bali, or from Davao to Lembe?
I thought all Indonesia, or is it just Bali?
I'm not sure. I just know you can fly from Bohol to Davao to Lembe and skip all the big cities.
That's crazy. I didn't know. I mean that.
Yeah, or Manado, not Lembe.
Geographically, that makes sense, but I didn't know there was that flight.
I met up with a guy in Ambon in the airport, and he told me that's how he got there. So he did it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a resort. I think it's Lotus Resorts. They got one in Lembe, Bali, Komodo, and Raja.
Nice.
So they want me to go check them all out, make some videos, and I really only want to go to Lembe. I haven't been there yet.
Hopefully, I'll be in Lembe next year, either at the Solitude Resort, and then hopefully this guy I met on Liveaboard has a resort called D Lagoon, and he's got a brand new resort, and he's invited me. So hopefully, I'll go to those two places next year, teach my course.
Yeah, that would be. I haven't been there at all. It looks awesome.
I went there maybe 8 years ago. It was cool, but I didn't know what I know now about critters and animals. So I didn't see as much as I could have seen because I didn't ask for other things. I had a very easy wish list like Wonderpuss, Flamboyant, something else like Ambon scorpion fish. And within like 2 days, they're just like done. Yeah. And now I know, like, wow, there's so much more things I could have asked for. And also because I was obviously a not so knowledgeable diver, I think they knew I'd be happy with anything. So now that I know what I want, I'll do it better next time I go back.
Yeah, we definitely got those people here. When I go in the groups with Liquid,
yeah,
they're like, what the hell are you filming the dirt for? Like, no, look at this footage. It was something awesome.
I remember the day where I freaked out over a clownfish and my friends made fun of me. Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah. I think my first clowns were in Egypt. There's a lot of firsts in Egypt.
Yeah, mine were Malapascua, where the ferry comes in now, where there's a big dock, big pier.
Well, for me, Philippines was 1,000 firsts.
Yeah.
I'm still every time I dive. Yeah, every time I dive.
Yeah. Still seeing firsts. even with 1,000 dives here, I'm still seeing new things. And if it's not a new animal, it's new behavior. There's always something new to see. You never see everything. It's impossible.
Oh, remember you saw my video where the frogs get slapped in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I've seen that a couple times. I think I told you when you told me that I found a frogfish once because I saw the animal slapping it, or the damselfish, and that's the only reason I saw the frogfish. I was like, who is that damselfish attacking? And I see this frogfish there. I was like, oh, cool. Snap, snap, snap.
I love it. Yeah, there's fish I've seen that I want to get the behaviors on camera, like the jawfish,
yeah,
with the eggs. And then
so I saw something for the first time a couple months ago. I saw a tiger mantis shrimp out of its hole.
You're breaking up. What happened?
Am I still there? Maybe it's my internet.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah, one of our internets is making you all shaky.
You're all shaky to me, so maybe
Oh
someone else
no.
might have been shaky. You can
Well,
hear
it's
me
kind
though,
of a
right?
miracle. We're both on Philippines Wi-Fi. It's kind of a miracle we got this far.
Yeah, yeah. But the tiger mantis shrimp, I saw it out of its hole because it attacked me in my wrist and got stuck to my wrist. And so I was swimming along, felt this pain. I look over, and there's a big old mantis shrimp, like pretty big, just in my arm, just stuck. Um, so that was terrifying. Never want to see that again.
I can't hear anything.
Oh man,
You there?
I'm here. It says my mic's working. What about now?
Is,
So
I mean barely. Is the Wi-Fi working?
Seems like the Wi-Fi is dead. Ours.
I can hear everything you're saying. I can see you just
Uh
fine.
yeah, you're back. You're better than before now.
Oh sweet. I switched my microphone. It was doing something with like auto something.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
There's a
Cool.
little bit of a like I can hear myself talking now.
That's weird because I got my earphones on, so you're not hearing it from me.
That's all right. Whatever.
Eh,
So, what
whatever.
did you say about a tiger shrimp or
I
something?
a tiger mantis shrimp, pretty big mantis shrimp. I was swimming along on a night dive, and all of a sudden something attacked my wrist. And I look over, and the tiger mantis is in my wrist right here with both of its swords stuck, like flailing around, stuck in my wrists. I couldn't shake it off, so I had to take my stick and I scraped it off my wrist and saw it tumbling in my dive light at night, and then almost went into shock because of all the blood I saw coming out. I realized
Jesus.
later it was just water. It was just dispersing in the water. It was like two really deep pinprick holes. But in my mind, I know mantis shrimp. I was just like, I have to go to the hospital. Something's wrong. My wrist is messed up forever. And then I get to the surface, and it's just like the two smallest holes you could ever imagine, but all the way to the bone. Like I couldn't use my wrist for about a week, and I had pain for about 6 months after.
Yeah, they're serious.
And I never saw it until it was in my wrist. So that was a first for me. It was night dive. I wasn't close to anything. I believe it must have seen something dangling off my camera tray, or maybe the shiny reflection of a screw, maybe it looked like a fish, and just went for it. I don't
Yeah.
blame it. I hope I didn't kill it when I dislodged it from my wrist because I had to try pretty hard to get it out. That was awful though. Probably one of the worst experiences of my life. I on the way back to shore, I stopped swimming and just got on my knees and just like got my breathing back because I was like, I'm going into shock right now. But I was with two resort owners, two really able divers, and they took good care of me. I had my light on my camera, so I couldn't hold my camera with that hand anymore. So I handed my camera to my friend, which meant I had no dive light anymore. And so he just swam next to me, looked at me like every 5 seconds, make sure I was there, brought me to shore, first aid, gave me some nice dinner. Luckily, I could ride my motorbike home. I had to go really slow. I could barely use the throttle.
You got
But
your
people
ass
are
kicked
scared of
by a little
sharks and
mantis
stuff.
shrimp.
It was not little, my friend. It was not little. It was
Oh,
it
is
was
that
good
big?
size. You know the big ones that are in the holes.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Yeah, I just posted, or maybe I scheduled. I don't know if it went live yet, but I got a mantis shrimp punching my lens.
Oh,
You could hear it go
so
tink.
so imagine that, but two barbed swords and then into your wrist, right here. I actually, I don't have the scars anymore, but it was I had four perfect holes from where they went in and hooked and came back out. Yeah, it was
Yeah, sharks are way
interesting
better.
dive. Yeah, so don't be afraid of sharks. Don't be afraid of scorpion fish. Be afraid of clownfish and be afraid of mantis shrimp. That's my advice.
Yeah, I get bit all the time by clownfish and whatever those gray ones are,
Yeah,
damsels.
they've drawn blood on me before, the clownfish, and guests too. I've had like a bloody circle on my finger before from a clownfish.
Jesus.
I took pictures of it. You could see the upper lip and the bottom lip just right there on my hand.
And even if they don't bite you, they make that little sucking sound, like popping sound with their mouth, and they
Yeah.
do it right in my ear. I'm like, what the hell
Yeah.
was that?
Yeah.
So loud.
Yeah.
I hate damsels, man. And clowns.
Yeah. They're mean. They're mean.
Imagine if sharks were that mean. Nobody would ever get in the water.
Imagine if clownfish were the size of sharks.
Or yeah. Whoa. that's an actual nightmare.
That'd be awful.
Oh my god.
I would never go swimming again.
No.
It's
Or a
weird.
triggerfish.
So I used to do volunteer work on a NOAA research boat out in Mississippi, and we'd do shark research. And a lot of us are divers on the boat. And one of the mechanics he's like, I can't believe you guys go swimming with sharks. That's so dumb. Like, why would you do that? I'd pick a gator any day. And we're like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, I swim in ponds all the time. I'm not afraid of gators. And we're just like,
What? Screw that.
like, what? He's like, yeah, it's nothing. You can swim with them, no problem. And we're just like, we're gonna take our sharks. You can have your gators. I don't swim in lakes. I don't swim in ponds. I grew up in Florida. I've seen enough gators to know I'm done going in the water there. They don't really attack people that much, but you can punch a shark, right? You can't punch a gator.
Oh, I would trust a shark over like a gator or a tiger any day.
Yeah.
I would never touch those.
No. I know gators and stuff don't attack unless you're on the surface. I'd love to go diving with Nile crocodiles, which they do now, some of the researchers, because once you drop straight to the bottom, they can't attack you anymore, they say. But just swimming or snorkeling or just playing around in a murky lake. Like, I had a friend growing up, and he was swimming in a canal. His grandmother's yelling at him because a gator's following him. Like, just following him. We've hit gators tubing, like behind a boat in inner tubes. You hit a gator, and you think it's a log. You look back, and it's gone. You're like, that wasn't a log. That was a gator.
Yeah, don't fall off.
And
Wasn't
so you're
there
in
a
the water.
story where the kid got snatched at Disney World at the lake?
Yeah. It was a little kid playing in like knee-deep water at sunset.
Yeah, screw that.
And that's when they feed. Like, that was, I don't want to blame anyone, but that was just a bad situation. There should have been more signs, and people shouldn't be allowed in the water at sunset in a lake with alligators, because that's when they feed. That's feeding
Forever.
time. That's feeding
Screw
time.
alligators. I would still dive with them because it'd be awesome footage, but I'm not going to swim, that's for sure.
Have you ever seen the footage of them diving in the Nile?
No.
Look it up. They do a negative entry, like super overweighted. They just go straight to the bottom, and these crocodiles have certain sleeping spots, and they're like, oh yeah, we know she'll be under this tree, and they swim up, and like they're petting her and stuff, which obviously I don't condone, but they're just getting all this footage of this Nile crocodile underwater, and then like when you get back on the boat, you don't spend your time on the surface. You just get right back in as fast as you can.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay there any longer than you have to.
They're like, oh, pet me now. You got to go up soon.
So like that I'd be cool with, but the way I put it, there are a lot of dangerous animals in the ocean, but they're only dangerous to you if you do something wrong.
Yeah.
Like sharks don't really attack people that much, but when you're diving, but they'll attack if there's bait in the water. There was that people that got, I think in Egypt, that were attacked, and then you look at the video and the guy is like freaking out, flailing around everywhere, like kicks the shark. You can see the shark's body posture changing, and like it was the people's fault. They circled
wasn't
it.
he was making a noise. He was making a noise that's meant to attract sharks. Like they were trying to get the sharks.
Oh, the one I saw, somebody was flailing around with a GoPro stick and like smacked it, and it just came around and nipped him.
I saw another one in Egypt. They had a little call that always brought in the sharks, and the guy kept doing that. And then when it came in, he was trying to film it, and then it like ran into him or something. So then it kept coming back.
Yeah, it could be the same video. We're just taking two different parts of it that we remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never heard
shut down the Red Sea for a while for diving that area. The Three
really?
Brothers or whatever. It was just shut down for all divers for a while.
Well, that's a long liveaboard trip anyway.
Yeah. And then you might have seen the footage of that great white getting inside the dive cage with one
Yeah.
of the.
Really recent.
I read later that they had tied bait to their cage, which was illegal, and that's why it came so close, because they were breaking the baiting rules.
That was a sad video.
Yeah, but the reason they don't allow bait tied onto the crates there, or the cages there, is that exact reason, right? So the sharks don't come that close. And when they go to attack something, the eyes close, so they don't see where they're going.
Yeah. I went cage diving in South Africa, and there were so many rules. It was really regulated.
Yeah.
Really regulated.
I did some research with a girl who married into one of the families there that runs one of the big shark diving boats in South Africa. And her husband's brother is one of the guys that like used to ride the great whites there and was like the shark whisperer. That was like her brother-in-law or something.
Yeah.
I've never been, but I'd love to do it outside the cage. That's what I would love.
The only thing I don't like about South Africa is so cold. The water is freezing.
Yeah.
Australia would be okay, and Mexico even better.
If I have to wear a wetsuit, it's too cold for me. That's my rule.
Oh, you have to wear it. You almost have to wear a dry suit in South Africa.
Yeah,
I was using like a 5mm, and it was freezing. We would go to the surface and put our hands out of the water until somebody saw a shark, because it was just so freezing.
Oh man, yeah. I'm okay with not seeing a shark if that's what you have to go through.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, we need to go diving soon. We're just down the road from each other, and
we will once it's up and running. We got plans.
Yeah.
We just can't do that.
There's just no word, huh?
I'm in touch with people who are in touch with the people. So when I know, you'll know. That's all I can tell you. When I know, you'll know.
Yeah, even if I don't go with the resort, if they allow it,
Yeah.
I'll go with whoever.
Hey, once it's allowed, just you come on to my house, get some good footage outside of my house. There's turtles, ribbon eels, giant frogfish, giant cuttlefish, nudies. It's just in between Bahura and Mazaplat South. No one dives there. It's like my private dive site.
Dude, I'll leave my gear at your house for like a week, and we'll just go like do a shitload of diving, and then I don't have to carry my gear home every night.
Easy.
And we'll do some cool stuff.
I'm just here on the beach, so it's like a 10-meter walk at low tide, 1 meter at high tide.
I'm gonna get the permission if they're not open in the next couple weeks. We gotta go.
But like I said, Cebu is open for diving now, and they've got so many cases still. So I think as long as people don't do it in more than groups of 4 or something, and stay socially distant when they're on the surface interval, and don't share air unless it's an emergency.
I can see why resorts are closed. That's the group aspect. But if us locals want to go diving by ourselves, I don't know why not.
I think part of the problem is that if they allow diving, they have to allow swimming. And when they allow swimming, that's one of the favorite pastimes of people who live here, is to go down to the beach.
All the families go.
Yeah. So
that's why they closed it down again.
Yeah. And
that's why it opened on May. It opened up on May 3 here, and then on like May 10 they closed it again.
Yeah.
They came around. I don't know about Darwin.
People have been getting arrested for swimming last week in Darwin. So I believe that they can't allow diving without being fair and allowing swimming. And if they allow swimming, it's already shown that people aren't following social distancing rules on the beach. So they're just preventing that, which unfortunately means no diving. But I don't know. With no tourism, there won't be many divers here. Just the employees at the resorts who go diving.
That's what I'm saying. Liquid thinks they're going to open in the middle of July. And I was like, you might legally be able to open, but who the hell is going to fly to Asia as soon as it's possible? Yeah. There's going to be no reason to be open. So it's going to be us by ourselves.
Yeah, I'm ready to dive. Hopefully I can dive tomorrow with my friends. But I'll
just let me know, or I'll let you know if I find something. Because I just need a week of diving. I'll have at least a month of footage.
Yeah, and I'll have my first new photo in like months, which would be nice.
I was actually thinking the other day what it would take to make a frogfish documentary with
Yeah.
you talking and just my footage, but God, I would need 1,000 clips just to make
Yeah.
a frogfish documentary.
We
It would
would
be
have to
super
go through the
difficult.
whole documentary clip by clip first, and then get those clips.
Yeah, we would have to write down the script of what you want to say, like the
Yeah.
science, and then I would have to find those things. Just like Blue Planet does, they go find something, and then they can also talk about the behavior if they film
Yeah.
something crazy.
Yeah.
But it would take a year of just trying to do that. Well, it would
Yeah.
take a few months of just nothing but that.
We can
Um,
always make a short 5-minute documentary and then get a sponsor.
yeah. What kind of sponsor?
I don't know. That's your job.
Well, I mean, yeah. If we didn't have to leave Darwin, it would be easy.
I mean, we don't have to.
Well, we need a marble.
Yeah.
We could do it. It would just take. Maybe we can make a 20-minute one.
If I can
And-
get to Malapascua next month in 2 months, I'll get the Malvermouth footage because that's where I go. So
For sure, 2 months you
that'll be
could.
done. That'll be done.
I,
And the
I'm
rest are
sure
Darwin.
2 months. Yeah, I'm sure in 2 months it'd be easy,
Yeah.
and you could get the footage yourself, or I could come with you.
Yeah.
I work with Evolution a few times.
One of my good friends, Dennis, is one of their instructors. So that's who I dove with.
I dove with the owner. I can't even think of his name right now.
Is it Matt?
Eureka's ex. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I dive with Evolution, and then do you know Rhonda at Liquid? One of the dive guys.
I probably met her, but not really.
She's the female dive guide they have.
Yeah.
Her brothers run a dive shop in Malapascua. Malapascua
Oh, the
Adventure
Filipino
Divers.
girl, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I dove with her on my last day.
Yeah, her brothers have a dive shop in Malapascua. So I do my thresher dive with Evolution, and then I do my Marblemouth dive with them. Because I've been having the one guy there, he's been searching for Marblemouth for me for like a year now. Always giving me updates and pictures and videos. And I was supposed to visit him a year ago. Then there was typhoons. Then there was like courses. Then there was a dive show. And then there was this. So I can't go at full moon for like a year now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to get those eggs hatching. That's my goal.
That would be half the documentary. That'd be awesome.
That's all I want is just the eggs of a marblemouth. That's all I want.
Yeah, we need to film some rare behaviors, not just a frog each species. It'd be cool if we can get something.
Yeah, I witnessed a juvenile frogfish try to eat a garden eel before. I wish I had video of that. I was guiding. We were at Secret Corner, and then all the eels are coming down, as they do when you get close, and the little frogfish is there, and then as the eel comes down, he starts moving, and when the head gets to the bottom, he tried to eat it.
He's
like
probably
a
the same
3 centimeter
size as his
frogfish.
head.
Yeah, same size as the head. Obviously, he missed because the eel is like 2 meters long, but that would have been amazing footage.
Yeah. I'm sure we can get them eating skeleton shrimp for sure
Yeah,
when they're
cardinal
babies.
fish, things like that.
Oh yeah, that would be sweet. Or one swimming even. But I'm sure
Yeah.
you could get tons of information. It'd be in a documentary. Still have
Yeah.
cool footage.
Yeah.
All right, man. You got anything else you want to chat about?
I think we've been here an hour and a half. We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No direction. Just
But if
whatever's
you think
fun.
of more, happy to chat again. And if you need me again, I'm sure we can think of more stuff.
Well, I think we should do other kind of collabs. Like maybe I'll have Judea do some courses. She needs to do advanced stuff like that. Maybe I don't know if you're doing those kind of courses still, but or maybe
At the moment,
she
no,
could do her.
but I can make arrangements. That's no problem.
Well, I think she should do the frogfish one, but I think she needs more experience diving first. She needs to do.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I always tell people if you have to choose between advanced and my course, take advanced first.
Yeah.
Then you can
Sure.
appreciate my course more once you're advanced. So I support that. I support that.
But there's tons of ideas. Let's just
Yeah.
try to go diving first.
That's step one. Go diving. Then everything else will follow.
All right. Well, thanks for spending your whatever day today is with me.
I had a pretty busy schedule with everything closed, but
Yeah,
I figured out how to fit it in there.
it's a rough one. All right, man.
All right.
It's good to see you again.
Hopefully see you soon for some diving in real life.
Yeah, I'm gonna start sending some emails to some mayors. We got to go to the pier for sure.
I think in your emails you should mention that you want to get some promotional stuff to show everybody that the animals are still here.
Oh yeah, that always works.
Yeah.
I use that for every country. It
The
always
mayor was
works.
at my house a couple months ago. He knows who I am. So if you want to name drop Dr. Frogfish, maybe he'll remember.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'll tell him me and you want to go survey it out.
You can tell him he's the Frogfish guy in Mazaplad.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Good
Well-
luck with your letters. Hope you get some information from them.
Yeah, let's see. All right.
All right.
Thanks,
dude.
man. Have a good
No
one.
problem. You too.
Bye.